All right, welcome to Inside the Circle. We are here inside the circle. Zach Baker alongside the captain, Ben Sullivan, and your promoter, owner, founder, Josh Baker. To me, the point of this is that they get to hear my voice a bit more, but Josh can explain what it really is.
Yeah, so the more the merrier. So we talked about this for a little bit. The point of the Inside the Circle is we're going to try to do it 2 times a month, leading up to a show and then after a show for our reactions. I think right now is a perfect time because we physically just finished our wild card in Ironman tournament, and we are leading up to HCS 10 in a couple weeks here, which the card is just stacked. Our goal is to bring as much eyes to the sport of jiu-jitsu and HCS grappling because the house party never stops, and we are moving and moving. And that's what we just want to do, you know? We just want to get everybody happy to go. So thanks for you guys joining me. I know we just kind of finished.
Anytime.
Finished a wild afternoon of jiu-jitsu, you know?
It was a good time.
It was a good time. I mean, again, we do what we do. We did 5 divisions in 2 hours.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you guys tune in on the YouTube. If not, it's there, and you can see that right there.
Today we had a couple of exciting matches. I mean, I think we start with Amy Lynn.
Amy Lynn came out to play. We did the 125 wild card. The 125 Grand Prix will be in August. We're still going to finalize that bracket. But I mean, she went against Gabriella Best, and they're both HCS vets. Like, they both understood. They both were scheduled for HCS 9, and they both were not 100%. They both lost their opponents first. And I said, hey, I can get you another matchup. Like, you know what? My eyes are on that wild card. They wanted to come back in, and they took a couple weeks off. They came back and went. I mean, Gabby subbed Amy in the first match. Like, it was the best 2 out of 3. And then Amy just come back and finished her twice. Like, in the last one, it was quick.
Yeah, I mean, I love when they finish submissions opening period. It's nice not to go to overtime when you don't have to. Yeah. Amy Lynn was impressive. I didn't think that after the first one, I wasn't expecting her to come back, especially that second one when she subbed her almost immediately. Yeah, it was like sub 30 seconds. I didn't think she was going to come back that aggressive, but she definitely put it on.
I mean, out of 3 matches, it was like 5-6 minutes of mat time total.
Yeah, so I think they had less mat time than everyone here today, and they had 3 matches.
I mean,
high pace.
Gabby came out and she didn't just win; like, she controlled the first match. Mm-hmm. Like, Amy was winning some scrambles, and then
once
Gabby went on the gas, it was done. It's like, oh wow, but it's going to be very hard to like change that in a short time. Like, but they went to their coaches. Amy with Robbie Bloom. I mean, Robbie Bloom, he's been on a bunch of our shows. He's back in a couple weeks. They came a game plan, and it seemed to work. Like, the more I think about that 125 Grand Prix in August, we're going to crown our first female champ. And, man, the girls always show up. Mm-hmm. Like, there's HCS 9 was bananas.
I think they always come out more aggressive. The subs are always there with the girls' matches. Like, they're always just going at it.
And it's crazy to think because majority of the girls have competed against each other, like,
all the time.
A million times. Like, it's not like, oh, Harry, I'm able to get you a matchup. I'm like, oh, yeah, I already went against her, but, yeah, I guess we'll do it again.
It's a smaller pool of competitors than you might have in other divisions.
So, like, I'm not sure if Amy and Gabby competed against each other prior to today. I'm going to go with most likely.
Yeah, probably somewhere.
They're both around here. I mean, they're in the circle all the time. But, man, I can't wait. I can't wait for Grand Prix season. It's gonna,
when money's on the line, the energy in the room is even different. Just the intensity that comes with that $1,000 is crazy.
I mean, when we left off last year, HCS 8 was fun. I mean, we had the All Valley final, but just the build up to it was different. I mean, and I think that's what we like to do here, and that's why I also think the biggest thing is those Grand Prix only involve what you do inside the circle. Mm-hmm. So if you beat someone in the IBJF, great job. It doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter. And then I think the competitors are really seeing that, oh, wow, I need to be active as much as I can. And that's why we are putting shows on every month. It's not like I take the wrestling season off, but I come back like, hey, let's guns blazing. And I think a lot of the guys today that just took advantage of coming in and doing the tournament, all those count to the record. You know, we'll continue talking about the results today, but like all those white and blue belts, Billy LeMahieu is undefeated.
Yeah.
Right? He had a walk-off finish in HCS 8, leaving Dimitri needing some medical attention.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need to be here today. Not at all. He had a match last night. He won it via buggy choke.
And his last match today, he got beat up for 6 minutes.
He got beat up and found him
for 6 minutes. He got absolutely beat up, and then all of a sudden wins.
He's 4-0. He's 4-0 in the circle. He puts himself in a prime spot when we do a look at the 175-pound championship next year. If he stays active, he's back at HCS 10. So again, just be active.
We do not care what you've done outside of here.
I don't.
I guarantee you I haven't even watched it. I've only ever seen you here. You mean nothing to me outside of here.
I mean, obviously, I'm always looking to bring in new people. But coming from our model, you know, again, our rule set is very unique. And if you go play other sub-only things, I mean, I really don't care what you won. Or if you took a decision off of somebody, I'm sorry, well, what happens after that? What happens after that 8 minutes that you just scrambled and nothing happened? So I think the building into it, I think obviously the team play is big. And I mean, speaking of Amy Lynn, I'm pretty sure Tap House is going to be putting a team together for the June duels. Anyone watching this, if you want the duels, we are taking team applications. Rockland today made a huge uproar, and they said they're going to put a team in. Dante Rivera's team is coming back.
Scary.
It's very scary. The vault that JT Taylor was talking about coming in. We'll see if he puts money where his mouth is, though. Yeah, I'm talking to you, JT, but we'll talk later. I'm sure he's going to be watching. But yeah, that was 125 today.
Yep. And then we had, I guess, move a weight up. Anthony Rua. Sorry I said your name wrong the entire stream. Really guessed it was Hua, but Rua.
You really wanted that accent today.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you tell me Portugal, I'm going to think it's Brazilian, but my bad. But he was probably in the circle more than anybody today.
3 matches, man. He came
and
in
they
as
all
the last seed.
They all went to overtime, right? Or the one didn't?
No, they all went to overtime.
Yeah, they all ADCCs. Yep. Yep.
They all went to overtime. He was in the ADCC twice,
oh no, he got the heel hook in the first one.
Yes.
But then 2 overtimes.
Yep. He had the second match of the day. Then he had to go against CJ Cameron in the semi. And CJ Cameron hasn't been in the circle since HCS 2.
Long drive for him.
Long drive, coming from Connecticut. I talked to him prior. Listen, I'll be honest. I mean, he was the 1 seed. I thought this was going to be I thought it was going to be a showcase for CJ Cameron. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't. A very competitive purple belt came out, but again, Anthony Rua said, hold my beer.
And in all of his matches, he was just in the weirdest positions the entire time.
Loved that inversion game.
He was just funky everywhere, and then come to find out after, we could tell from the wrestling, but he's a wrestler.
Those ducks were clean.
He had the knee picks, ducks, so it was like, yeah, you could tell from doing it he was a wrestler, but first thing he did when he got in was try to go inversion off of that. So you don't think he's a wrestler, and then all of a sudden he's waiting for ADCC overtime for a blast double into the wall.
Super patient in his approach to the matches as well. He didn't really force anything.
That could be a gas tank issue as well. He definitely was tired.
Dude, I mean, in that final against Troy, he was we were talking about it. Going into this overtime, I was like, oh, well, we get to ADCC, man. I don't know if he has anything less in the tank. And what does he do? He opened up ADCC with a blast double and almost wins it on the edge. Like, he did not stop moving. So, again, you can't judge anyone by the looks. And his face of exhaustion, he said, sure, I have gas in the tank. And, again, wild card, man. You're hunting for a spot in the tournament. You're hunting for this belt. You're hunting for $1,000. And it's not life-changing money, but
it's something.
They paid to compete today.
It's not life-hurting money.
The stakes are different. It's not just a super fight anymore.
Tax-free.
There's money on the line.
Tax-free, man.
IRS, you're not listening.
All our Grand Prix are brought to by our sponsors. Our sponsors give out donations to them for the hard work.
It's all in actually, they don't know yet. It's all going to be in TGI Fridays gift cards this year. So I hope
How
you
many
like
wings
that.
could you buy for $1,000?
Friday's kind of expensive.
Fridays has,
it's gone up a little. So I feel like, what, like
the
20,
economy.
25 wings?
The economy,
$1,000, 25
Inflation.
are we talking about bonus or?
Well, no, wings. We're talking about wings. That's a chicken nugget.
Or do you spend $1,000 on multiple samplers?
I think that's
the move, man.
I mean, if you get $1,000 Fridays, you can host a pretty good party. Like, you get a bunch of samplers to bring home.
Now, I feel like if I eat $1,000 of Fridays in one sitting,
Well,
I need money back.
You couldn't.
You become a brain
I don't think
rat at
anyone's
that
eating
point.
$1,000 Fridays by themselves.
What do you think $1,000 in mozzarella sticks is?
Those are definitely. I think it's like almost $1 per. I think you're getting like 800 mozzarella sticks.
All right. Anyway, great job, Anthony Rua. He'll be back. I mean, July 15th is a 155. That's gonna be the next wild card to go, and we'll talk more in the coming weeks. I can't say it exactly what we have in the
Something
works.
cool.
Something awesome is in the works. So this is the first time that I'm going to out and say it in the public and people can hear it. I told the guys today. We have some big things coming in 2023. And July looks like it's going to be our first big step in the right direction. But when I just think about that bracket, like 155 is a weight class that you can see a lot of the guys move around. For example, our only reigning champion right now, Andrew Cockle, has made 55 before. Does he do it?
$1,000 good motivator to cut some weight.
I mean, day before weigh-ins, we do it. But also on the same other end, does he give his buddy Michael Villanueva
True.
a chance? They had an All-Valley final. And I mean, I just can't. But 155 can have literally anyone you can think of right now. And it's in July, so if you're listening, I mean, applications are up. I'm going to start reaching out. Remember, the only way to qualify for a Grand Prix is being an HCS vet. If you're a brown and black belt, if you're a purple belt, you have to have at least a 500 record inside the circle. And white and blues, you have to win a wild card, or a purple belt can win a wild card as well. And we did that today.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing us to we had one more.
Two more.
Well, one more wild card.
Yeah.
And then we had the absolute.
Mm-hmm. But Joe Moretti,
Joe Moretti, man.
he didn't need all 3 matches.
No, he did not. I'm going to be honest. I mean, Andy Lopez again, which was also weird to me. When I announced the tournament, a lot of good feedback. Everybody was excited. Everybody signed up for 155 right away. Wasn't even an issue. 125, 205, nobody. Nobody was signing up. And then I kept on getting the messages saying, hey, I want to sign up, but no one's there. All I said is, well, sign up. If no one comes, you get a spot. You get a chance at $1,000 in championship belt. Maybe once people go, I mean, they both signed up with like 2 weeks to go, and I'm happy that they're both able to get some matches. Mm-hmm. Andy Lopez coming in 1-0 today. We'll talk about him a little bit more, but Joe Moretti, man, I mean, he was getting dominated in the first match.
Yep.
Just
Good gas tank for a big guy.
good guy. I mean, it was just constantly effort, and he found a way to win, and then found another way to finish him again. Mm-hmm. You could see in the second match he had confidence.
Yeah, he had confidence, and Lopez did have the opposite.
Lopez was down.
His gas tank was lower, and having that loss, he was like, well, I don't know if I want to try as hard here. And Moretti took advantage of that one.
I mean, yeah, 2-0.
Second one was impressive.
He's now 2-0, 2 finishes. Puts himself in a good spot when we do the Grand Prix. I mean, hopefully we can get him in maybe at least one more time. Mm-hmm. Get him to 3-0. Now, with the wild card spots, you're not automatically the last seed, because I'm not going to take that away from you, okay? But you will be one of the bottom 3. And the things that can get you above other people are your record and head-to-head matchups. So you're sitting around 3-0. I mean, you might take the 7th seed. It can happen.
It depends who shows up.
8. It depends how many people are in the Grand Prix, right? I'm looking to do Grand Prix 8 to 16 guys, or girls, depending on what weight class we're doing, and just it goes from there. So, I mean, hell of a showing by Joe Moretti. And with that being said, I mean,
The guy he beat.
the guy he beat after being down on himself.
0-2. He was down 0-2.
0-2 in the day. We said, all right, who wants to do the absolute division? And he flirted with it in the beginning of the week, and he said, we'll talk after. And he's like, yeah, all right, let's do it. And, biggest guy in the bracket, took it home.
Yeah, we were saying early, because he went against the littlest guy first, that jiu-jitsu supposedly is supposed to favor the smaller guy beating a bigger guy, but Lopez proved his size mattered today.
Yes.
And he definitely looked more confident right away in those matches than the second match with Moretti, because he went in and finished all of them, right?
Yes.
How did he beat Johnson at the end? He finished the first two.
Yeah, he finished them.
Yeah, so, came back 0-2, finished at 3-2 on the day with 3 submissions.
I think out of everyone, Lopez probably had the most matches today, right?
He
I feel like I saw him all the time.
5.
Yeah, 5 matches today.
Yeah. He had the most, yep.
So many times.
And now he's 4-2 inside the circle.
At the last match, I didn't even ask him if he had any
Which-
questions. I'm like, you've been here before. You know what's going on.
Which brings us into an interesting part, right? Moretti won the wild card. Andy Lopez is 4-2. He qualifies for the tournament. So.
And Moretti's only 2-0. So he'd probably have to at least be 3-0 to get it seated higher than him.
Oh, no, he has the head-to-head. Head-to-head does go.
Okay.
Head-to-head does go. You can see who fills in that 205 bracket.
But if any of the guys that Andy beats makes their way in, and then you create a triangle, then Andy gets the 4-2 bump.
It will make it interesting. And, they're probably watching this right now and had no idea about that. So, Andy, you're still alive, kid. And that's what makes this great. And that's what makes what only gets you to the Grand Prix is what you do inside the circle. It builds our rivalries, and it just keeps it going. And that's what we want. But it was a great day. It was a great, easy day of matches.
HCS Ironman 2 flew by. A lot of submissions. ADCC overtime wins, which we never get to see, really.
Yeah, I was happy we finally got to see a little bit of that. The ball was involved. Everything was
Never made it to the last overtime, is that the first card that's happened? I feel like I've always at
time
least
did not
seen
matter
one.
today at all.
At all.
Yeah, no, that didn't even. Good catch there. We'll probably do back our next Ironman tournament in the fall. I like doing it in between some cards. But so congratulations to all the winners. You can see their interviews on our YouTube channel and our Instagram page. But all right.
HCS 10?
HCS 10.
HCS X? Cinco de Mayo Fiesta?
Cinco de Mayo. Now, it was, I know there was some confusion. We did make it originally May 6th. The UFC is coming to town to Prudential Center.
Goddamn
Dana,
White.
you didn't call me.
He called everyone else in the state and forgot to call us to confirm.
He didn't check in with us.
No, but I said
I
fine.
blame Frankie as the ambassador for the UFC for New Jersey.
Yes.
Him and Jim Miller didn't consult with us. So
But-
they're welcome to come to the circle.
They're welcome
To
come
make
circle
up for
a
it.
day,
Yeah.
Do your weigh-ins real quick and fly right back down. Probably around the same
No,
time.
Frankie's not weighing in.
Oh, Frankie's not weighing in.
Yeah, Frankie can come do this,
Frankie can.
and then he'll just drive up the next. It's not like he lives far.
No.
The Tom's River.
Tom's River.
Yeah, it's
Seaside
right.
boy.
It's right here. He can bring his podcast. We'll let him film on the side. Him and Roger.
Yeah.
They can film over there.
Film right over here. Yeah, maybe we'll do a little fight companion.
Okay. Brendan Schaub,
Frankie, if you're watching, hit me up.
you're welcome. You're welcome here anytime, Frankie.
But no, whatever. So it's obviously a good weekend for combat sports in New Jersey. I know there's a couple other shows going on around the weekend too in the Tri-State area. But I'm going to say it, and anyone can call me out on it if I'm wrong. I think this is the best card for submission-only grappling on the East Coast in a very long time.
Big names.
The biggest in the HCS circle, and again, that's all that matters.
Yeah, true. Again, I haven't watched you anywhere else.
There's 19 fights. We originally had 20. Unfortunately, we've lost a couple. But it is what it is. And going into in a couple weeks, we're hoping everything stays flat. We have some awesome matches coming up. Obviously, everybody knows it is headlined by Nicole Mathews and Sejara Eubanks. And we are Sejara's first competition since UFC.
So she's trying to figure out what her next move is in terms of combat sports. So
Yeah, we
invited her to get that competition in while she figures that out.
I'll be as honest as this. Sarge reached out to us. She's a black belt. She won multiple IBJF tournaments prior.
Hasn't done it in a while.
Hasn't done it in a while, obviously, because she was busy.
She was, fighting.
Being a top contender in the UFC. But, I mean, we took the film crew down, and we were able to see some filming and training for Sarge. And you could just see how much less pressure is on her right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now. She's just having fun again, and I can imagine,
You're probably easier to deal with than Dana, if I had to guess.
I would say so. And it's just MMA, man. It's a lot. It's a lot on your body. Camps are rough, and you're doing it at such a high level. I couldn't even imagine. So the main event is gonna be awesome. She's going against our pound for pound female.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sarge might be the bigger name because of what she's done, but Nicole's a beast.
And Nicole's a pretty big name in the jiu-jitsu world.
Yeah, and I mean, if you ask me right now who I think's gonna win, I do think it's Nicole right now. Sarge is like I don't know if you want to come into this kind of thing rusty and then say, but you get Nicole Mathews.
Yeah. So we lucked. I won't say lucked out. The stars aligned. We'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
They both were in the Rising tournament. Rise. A couple weeks ago in New York, Sejara unfortunately had to pull out. So when I did see that, I was a little worried that they were going to compete against each other. But they didn't, so the only way you can see it is inside the circle, which Nicole went and took second in that tournament to lose to fellow HCS alumni, Leighton Petcher. And they wanted that match, so I was happy that they finally get to compete against each other.
And we can run that back here.
Maybe in a Grand Prix.
I'm excited because Nicole always brings a crowd, and I'm hoping that Sarge does too.
I think Sarge will be bringing a crowd.
I would expect she would. That team is usually pretty good at making the trips out to see each other compete.
She's representing Dante right now.
I think, yeah.
She's representing Dante,
and I think this gym might be a little loud for that one.
This gym,
which is good because I feel like with the main event sometimes the crowd dies off a little, but I think they'll have most of the crowd.
I don't think anyone leaves.
I think they're the crowd.
No, I would say if you're thinking about getting tickets, I'd get them now. I will say they are moving at a faster pace than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a lot of times people wait until the week of. I advise against that because if you do miss it, you miss it. It's fine. You can see it straight off our streaming platform, which the guys did great. But you should be in House HCS.
Way cooler to be here. And even if they're not selling it out, that co-main, Andrew Cockle, he always brings a crowd.
Sam Vorb, stepping up to go against the champ. That's who's gonna bring the crowd.
That's gonna be a rowdy
I'm
match.
just gonna bring that out there.
Those four at the top. It's gonna be packed gym. It's gonna be sweaty in here.
It's gonna be packed.
It's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be
a hot
sweaty.
fiesta. It's gonna be a hot fiesta. Now, fun fact for Coachell and Vorb, this is a rematch. Coachell beat him 2 years ago.
Cockle.
Sorry.
He's got the shirt with
champ.
with the rooster.
So I mean, we all know the original announcement was Cockle versus Rob Schaefer in an absolute match. Rob Schaefer got hurt, speedy recovery. So I was left without an opponent for Cockle. Sam Vorb was originally on the card, but he was traveling for an IBJF tournament, and he wasn't sure. Then he came back to me and said, I want on. I said, all right, well, let me see what I got. I offered him Cockle. No hesitation. He said yes. Cool, done. You have two high-level guys, especially both guys. I mean, I know Sam is talking about hopping in the 155-pound Grand Prix. So talking about a big opportunity to take a lot of prestige points right now. You got to take him out. But that's another just awesome card. After that,
Perez and Lee.
John Perez, another undefeated HCS fighter. He's been on the duels. He's competing everywhere. Every time I go on social media, I see his name popped up on another card. Scary individual. Big guy. Undefeated, 205. Obviously, his eyes are on his belt. and that's hopefully how he's in
Pretty belt.
the year. I mean, it's a nice belt.
They get to see it.
They get to see it.
Pretty belt.
Everyone gets to see it. I don't know much about Danley.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't recognize that name.
He's new to the circle, but he understands. And I heard he's a killer.
Okay.
So we'll see. I mean,
Better bring it.
new matchup. I mean, that's
good.
what we got to do. I mean, high level belts, high level guys, big guys. The wall will probably be pushed to its test, and
Crowd will have to be aware.
we'll see how we go.
Don't-
Yes, refs. You're gonna have to
And
make sure
don't let the children run around for that one.
no one should be over here just in case anyone falls.
Yeah.
We know people like to crowd. Walk away for that one. Maybe the one before, though, with the tinier people, we'll let them crowd a little bit more because potentially my favorite fighter, HCS alum, Chelsea Mappa, leads off the main card.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea 3-0 in the circle. She has her eyes on this 125-pound belt.
9th ranked moment of the year.
Yeah, I have a feeling you might see her a couple times.
She might pop
in
up
the top 10. But yes, the number 9 event, top 9
Moment.
leading up to HCS 10. She's our first female to get her hand raised. You know, that was it was a big thing.
And then
came
she
back
did it again and again.
against Dr. Stringbean. That match was awesome.
Shout out Dr. Stringbean.
And then she came back and fought
Excellent work.
Kelsey Jamison. And Kelsey, that match has the most views on our Instagram, like by far, which is crazy. Like we have some hardcore matches and those goes. And she's going against Emily Sanchez. Emily has been booked a couple times for us. Injuries happen, you know. And she was very hesitant about doing 125. And I told her about the Grand Prix and all that, and it was easy to make it happen. So it is going to be a big deciding factor leading up, especially being only 3 months ahead of the Grand Prix. It will be a good pace setter, and this one will count as a qualifying match for Emily to get into the. Regardless, you know, she's a brown belt. She just doesn't have to
And I
be-
mean, beating Chelsea should qualify you for anything we're going to run if you can do that.
Yep, you can take out the number 1. You can take her out, and that's where it is. But yeah, that's the main card. I mean, and then we have
Ton of fights though, 19.
19.
And so maybe some of the
It's probably gonna be the latest night we've been here. First match is at 6:30.
But it's Cinco de Mayo, so
Cinco de Mayo, you know, go right down the road to Red Bank.
um,
Bring your sombreros.
so maybe some of the lower matches that maybe some smaller names, maybe not, but things we're excited for. We're welcoming back Sebastian Gallegos again. He's always down to fight anyone.
It was
Always.
hard. It was hard finding him one.
Never not down. Always got an arm bar in the pocket. But he's up against another HCS alum, James Nottingham, so I'm excited about that one.
I mean, we're right back to where we were in the Grand Prix, right? They both were in the Grand Prix. Nottingham shocked everybody, I think. He submitted Zach Shimos
Yep.
right off the bat.
A lot of upsets in that Grand Prix last time.
I mean,
For
that's
anyone,
what the tournament is.
don't think just because you're a low seed there, it's not going to matter.
You just gotta get in the
Shimos
dance.
was our 2 seed or 1 seed?
1 seed,
One
undefeated
seed.
at that
Yep.
time.
And we lost the 1 and 2 in the first round.
We did.
Yeah. So
No, we didn't.
was Cockle 2?
Cockles too.
All right, then we lost the 3 then though. I know that.
We did. Yeah, just.
But yeah, James, big upset, and I think honestly, Sebastian, I was a little surprised he didn't do better at that.
well, he had to go against part of All Valley right off the bat.
Great match for.
They looked virtually identical.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, they were wearing different rash guards.
Yep. But I think he wants to come back with some vengeance on the mind. And I just, always appreciate him because he's been willing to step up almost every time for any match. He's always in the circle. So.
He's ready to go. He does not say no.
But now James Nottingham this time is different. He's not the underdog anymore. He's got pressure on him now. People expect things from him.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good showing. He officially originally he was booked against Chris Emery for this card, which would have been good because that technically would have been the 3rd place match at the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, Chris is dealing with some issues that he has to deal with, but Chris will be back. And they're both people looking at the 155-pound Grand Prix as well. So there are some matchups that we're definitely super excited for. That's good. That's a fun one.
Kicking it down to the blue belts, as a blue belt myself, I'm very excited for Bobby Reardon. and Tyler Lee. Reardon out of Ocean County Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Tyler Lee out of Immortals Jiu-Jitsu. Two frequent competitors. Both gyms always bring the heat when they're in here. I think that's going to be an excellent match. One of my favorite HCS moments is our first tournament I believe we ran here. Bobby Reardon came in just to watch.
The duels.
The duels.
Mm-hmm, the duels, yeah. Yep.
Pro duels.
Josh offered him a spot to compete.
As a blue belt in a pro duel.
As a blue belt in a pro duel, and he jumped on the opportunity and jumped right in. And I think it's just an example of someone who, loves to compete.
That's what you want at HCS.
He was in here today.
Yeah, he was in here today helping.
with Drew Duddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we had Ocean County BJJ in today.
I think both gyms, like I said before, they bring the heat, and I think that's going to be an excellent match to watch.
Yeah, I mean that was a fun one. Both come and push. Tyler Lee, 1-1 in the circle right now. Has a win over Drew Marsh, and then he lost to Dimitri in overtime. So yeah, he brings it.
Dimitri's nasty.
Dimitri's good, and but yeah, that's gonna be a. I mean, we try to get as many lower belts that I can on every show. This one being HCS 10, I did try to bring out everything, give it like that WrestleMania 10 feel. So we only have a couple. With me going into the match that I'm most excited for a bunch of different reasons. One, my weight class. So I always look close to it. I've been offered a couple of these guys a couple different times, just injuries or whatever, and now I'm on this side of it. Never really did it, but Ellis and John Brennan. Now, I tried to make this match with them last year. I'm not going to say why it didn't happen, but there was not a lot of heat behind it. I guess there were some issues that way it was getting booked. It fell through. One person got hurt, other person got hurt, kept on going. It just looked like it wasn't going to happen. It looked like very Tony Ferguson, Khabib-esque, and it kept on getting matched, kept on getting matched. Then they finally got matched for finishers last year, and Ellis flying triangled them and took overflow. So as soon as that happened, I hit them up. I said, listen, we try to get it done. You want to do it? Ellis was dealing with some injuries, and we had to go back and forth a little bit. We were getting HCS 10. Like, that's exactly what we want. John wants to back. John's fiance, Emily Sanchez, is on the card. So that was very easy to get them both back in. And Ellis always shows up. Mm-hmm. If he's on his back, crawling at you, like, with his legs over his head, getting him super hyped after the team wins. He's just, you don't know what you're going to get from that guy.
Always an exciting fight with him.
They're just going to go. And that's what we want to see. Mm-hmm. And I think the entire card from top to bottom is going to be nonstop. And
19 fights.
19 fights. I mean,
19 good ones.
And they're not. I mean, we've had bigger cards, but I think 19 fights on a Friday night set yourself up for.
We've had longer cards. I don't know if we've had bigger.
We've had like 30 fights on cards.
I know, longer.
Longer and big.
Like,
on the bigger note.
Like name show value wise. I don't think you're
everyone's coming to bring it, and
we're gonna have a lot to live up to at HCS 11.
But yeah, I know. And what we're gonna do for HCS 11? We're gonna bring back the duels, amateur team duels. Like I said, I think it goes without saying, minus the bill to the Grand Prix, team format is where HCS lives. And there's a bunch of different other team formats. Obviously, being a wrestler, I want to be as close to wrestling as we can because I think that sport, I know wrestling is huge. Okay, wrestling is a big sport. It's all over the place. Everybody wants it. And I want jiu-jitsu to get there. And as a teams, I mean, we've had academies and we've had super teams. I think this amateur duels, it's going to be a lot more academies. And that's what makes it interesting. You know, like you're bringing in your best white and blue belts. You're making a team together. We're talking about Rockland today. They're putting a team together. Dante Rivera, big brother. And I talked to Dante this week. He's like, I have promoted a lot of people to purple. I said, all right, well, who do you have next? And he's like, I got people. I know he does. Tap House is talking about it. The Vault's talking about it. And that's going to be good. And we'll do super fights too. June's going to be big. Then Grand Prix in July, Grand Prix in August. And then we'll see. We'll see what happens for the rest of the year. But we're here.
It's a busy summer.
We're not going anywhere. As much as we can do. Jiu-jitsu's growing. It is ADCC trial years, so we got to see what everything else happens around before we can book anything else. But it is what we want. We want to go. So if you are watching this and you want to be in the circle, apply. Right? HCSgrappling.com. You can see all our events. We have applications there. You can be a part of what we're doing, and I promise you, if you come in, we take care of you. If it's whatever you need to do, we do virtual weigh-ins the day before. I'm not asking you to come out here 2 times, and we are New Jersey based, but we have people coming all from over the place: Tennessee, Long Island, Syracuse. I think we had Connecticut today. Multiple guys drive like 4 hours just for the tournament today, so it goes. And you just get benefit when you go.
I think we're a good time to hang out with.
I think it's a fun time.
Yeah.
And it's tight, You don't have ticket minimums. You don't have any of that. At the end of the day, come out, do your best. And don't be the nail.
Be the hammer.
Be the hammer. Mm-hmm. Be the hammer. All right, I think.
Pitter-patter.
Pitter-patter. Let's get at her. I think this is exactly what we want. We have a ton of new content coming out, so stay tuned.
Like, subscribe, hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you want us to talk about, what you want to see here. But yeah, thank you to All Jersey Mechanical, Teach You Out Fridays. Can't wait for Cinco de Mayo. I'll see you all there. But with that, Ben, Josh, that was Inside the Circle.